Okay.
All right.
All right.
This is the ReVitalized Podcast. My name is Justyn.
And my name is Elle.
And just real quick, if this is your first time watching the show, thank you guys for being here, first of all. If you don't know us yet, my wife and I, we're holistic health coaches. We've been doing this for about 17 years, and we're the founders of Revitalized Academy. We started our company and this podcast to make a way to show families just how to get healthy again.
Yeah.
We got real tired of watching families get sick unnecessarily. And so we created the show so we can teach people how to get healthy, how to live longer, how to feel better, just all that stuff using natural, holistic principles.
Absolutely. And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about getting pregnant after PCOS, a rookie mistake.
Huge win, by the way. Huge win.
Yes, absolutely. A rookie mistake we made running our first group challenge.
Mostly my fault.
Building a stronger immune system as an athlete, and also guilt versus accountability, and why one will crush you and the other will make you succeed.
That's right. And just really, really quick, before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode, I just want to say a special thank you guys to everybody who has donated to Revitalize Our World. Mm-hmm. You guys are heroes. We thank you. We appreciate you. You are a huge reason why this show is even possible. So thank you guys so much. You've helped us to get this education out to more families, and that's a huge, huge win for us and for you guys. So just thank you. We appreciate it a lot. To kick things off, though, darling, what was the best thing that happened this week? What was something that was really, really, really awesome that we got to see?
So we were sitting on the couch, and then I just got this text from one of our clients telling me that she got pregnant. And so huge win because okay,
sorry, that was loud. I realized how loud that was.
Okay.
I apologize.
It's okay.
I'm still getting used to the podcasting thing. But just freaking awesome.
Isn't that wonderful? Anyways.
Another healthy baby coming to a healthy family. I mean,
yes.
Praise God, baby.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And so this young lady, she is someone who is in her 30s. Mm-hmm. And just to get very specific, being in your 30s, that is very young, okay? That is very young, despite what maybe some certain individuals may say in terms of your health when you were in your 30s to do with your fertility, reproductive health, etc. Being in your 30s is very, very young. Mm-hmm. And this lovely lady, she had been diagnosed with PCOS, which is unfortunately something that is all too common nowadays in a lot of women. And that can come with some challenges. That can come with some challenges with their hormones, of course, with their physique. And she was concerned that she couldn't be a mom, or that it would get in the way of this. And that was one of the main reasons why she came to us. And so she was able to drop the weight and even continue going in the direction that she wanted for her physique after we did a lot of one-on-one time together, which, wonderful. But the pregnancy was the biggest thing because, some people, maybe they don't care about having a family. They don't care about being a mom. But especially for a woman, getting pregnant, being a mom is
after
so
you've
wonderful.
Been told that you probably won't.
Yeah, or just unlikely or this or that. Or, it's just unfortunately there's a lot of negativity around that. And we always have to be realistic. Of course, we can't lie. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, when it comes to our future, when it comes to something so, so, so important, I think the best thing to do is to shoot for the most successful, happy, beautiful life you can, and to not let anything or anyone hold you back from something that is so real, something that is so very possible, and something that is so very important. Because, when you love something more than yourself, like a baby, that just helps develop a part of you that you wouldn't have been able to develop if you hadn't have gone through that. And it's something that I think a lot more young women should be looking forward to.
Totally agree.
Because it's something wonderful. There's a reason why there's been a lot of women who want to have babies. And I was actually talking to a friend the other day, like a few months back, and she was like, oh, before when I was younger, in my early 20s and stuff, I didn't really care about having a baby. I thought I thought kids were kind of gross and this and that. And then as soon as I hit 30, like I just, all of a sudden, all I want to do is get pregnant.
That's right.
This kind of idea.
That's
but
right.
That was something really, really special. And for you, Justyn, what was the best thing that happened for you this week?
For me, it was definitely a new client that we've been working with. It's a new family. Their son, he's got a little bit of developmental things going on. I'm not going to go super personal into it, but we were working together for like the last month or so. About a month, right?
Yeah.
Little over a month.
Yeah, maybe
like,
a little bit over
6 weeks, something like that. Anyway, his mom came up. He's 11, by the way. His mom came up, and she's seen things get so much better that she asked if we could renew our contract for like a very, very, very long term, like multi-year thing. And that's cool professionally, but more importantly than that, it was really like, I went straight up to Elle and I'm just like, babe, they trust us with their child. And like, we had a cool little moment about it. And it's just something that, was really, really special. It was a big, big compliment. Just a good sign that like, we're doing something right. And, just obviously to help a child, help a kid, help a young man. It's like helping adults is great. Really
Absolutely.
Cool. Working with kids is like, it's a special kind of fun. And so it was just awesome to have that moment where like this person trusts us with the most important thing in the world to them. And I just thought that was really, really cool. It was huge highlight, huge boost to our confidence, and just knowing that things are good and we're helping people. And it's like, that's the whole reason why we do this stuff. I mean, like we say this all the time, that like what we do, if we weren't doing it for the people, it'd be like way too much work and way too much stuff. Just like, there's so many easier ways to make money, And so just whenever we get those kinds of reports, like the pregnancy, or hey, I want you to work with my son as he grows up, or getting Vincent ready for his fight, or like any of these things, just when we get these reports from all the guys and all the ladies in the academy, it's very, very, very cool, because like this is our heart and soul, and so that really made me happy. Put a big smile on my face.
On his face, made his heart glad.
As far as like stuff we did in the academy this week, if I had to pick a favorite, I think that was probably a highlight for sure.
Yeah, next to mine, of course. No, they're both great, and I think like we can look at both of those things, and the best thing we can take from that, and that even like I hope the audience even takes from that too, is like there's hope. So many people have been told like, oh, your kid is going to be this way for a long time. This is going to get worse. This is going to get worse. Oh, it's unlikely that this wonderful thing will happen, et cetera, et cetera.
Totally. I mean, behavior is getting better. Mood swings are getting better. The relationship with his sister is getting better. The way he's treating his mom is getting better.
That's huge.
And it's like, because he's such a good kid, he just needs someone in his corner.
He just needs some
someone
training.
in his corner. It's exactly.
Yeah.
Just needs a little bit of training. Just needs a little bit of help. He's not broken. There's nothing inherently wrong with him. It's just a little bit of training. Yeah. A little bit of guidance, a little bit of patience, and especially in his case, like he's super freaking smart. So once you find that way to explain the thing to him where he'll actually get it, he'll actually understand it, and if you can get him to care about it, like he catches on faster to some things than some full-grown men I'm working with right now. Not gonna mention no names. No. Love all of you guys.
Anyways,
it's fantastic, but yeah, he's a little genius, that guy.
And I think it's the same for nearly every single person we've ever worked with. Like for example, women who are dealing with infertility, or have been told that they could be dealing with infertility. This kind of area, which is becoming unfortunately more common. Women in their 20s and 30s, it has like practically skyrocketed in the last like 3-4 years, something like this, which is crazy. And that kind of quickness in that kind of advancement, that kind of uprising in issues like this, it shows that it's environmental. It's not like, oh, just genetic. And, you know, with that too, again, it's like these women, they work so hard. They try so hard, just like a lot of these kids that maybe have different challenges than other kids.
Yep.
You know, they really are trying.
Well, and like you can't box a human being into a label.
Yes.
That doesn't work. Like it works sometimes, because sometimes the label is just, it fits and it describes that person. But there's a big difference between the person and the condition, or the person and the problem. And the big thing that we've seen anyway is just most people, when they get hit with a label, they get a diagnosis, they get, you know, they're stupid, they're fat, they're got some kind of a disease, something like that.
Yeah.
Almost always the label never just stays a label. It's never something that you have. Most of the time, it becomes a part of who you believe you are.
So your identity.
And that's a huge issue for so many people. You know, like one of the big things we talk about all the time is like getting in control of your words, making sure you're speaking good things. Not that positivity is going to fix all of your problems, but every moment you're being positive is a moment that negativity can't make every one of your problems infinitely freaking worse.
Yeah.
So it's important to say the right things. It's important to make sure that your mind is thinking the right way, you're believing the right stuff, and you have a good, healthy self-identity. I mean, that's like 80% of one of the core 4 things that we deal with. And if you associate these labels with who you are, I am a person with ADHD. I am a person with anger problems. I am a person with obesity. There's just no universe where that will help you to fix it. If you're dealing with those things and you got to be honest and accountable about it, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But like, you are not a fat person. You're just a person that needs to lose some weight, but that's not a part of who you are. That's just something that happened to your body. That's not you.
You're not the problem. You just maybe have some challenges in your life, just like every other human being on the face of the earth.
Right.
But again, you're not the problem. You're in fact part of the solution. But, you know, again, like no person was meant to do really hard things alone. And especially when you've been trying to do something for a really long time, it's just like being at the gym. Like we give this analogy all the time. It's just like being at the gym and you're trying to lift like a really heavy weight, but you keep trying and you keep putting more effort, but you're not lifting it. So that means you need a spotter. You need someone to come up and help you lift it until you are strong enough to do it on your own. But until that happens, you're not.
That's right.
So,
you know, it's so speaking of the solution, we came up with a little problem this week. A little snag. Yeah. Mostly my fault. Little context here. We fixed it, by the way, so that's good. We fixed this. Nobody panic. Nobody calm down. We put the fire out. It's okay.
This is just what happens, okay, right? So because we have a coaching company, and so like we do one-on-one calls and we do like group calls, right? And so we try to make the group calls really fun. And so we've been doing group challenges.
That's right.
But you know, there's aspects to that where we have to make sure that we optimize it, right? Because like as human beings, we want to optimize every single area of our lives
as much as possible.
Right?
Yeah. So we started to run a little experiment because we wanted to double down on the community aspect of what we're doing, because we think that, you know, everybody coming together, the people coming together, and not just us and the coaches being the teachers only.
Yeah.
Everybody learning from each other.
Yes.
Everybody doing things together, not just learning together, but also doing things together. And so we came up with a couple ideas for some group challenges, something that everybody could do. And one of the parts of that challenge was that we have a leaderboard that we're tracking, like who's doing the most. And so this first one, we did a hydration challenge. So everybody had a amount of water they were supposed to drink, amount of salt they're supposed to take, all this kind of stuff, and they're supposed to track it in our apps.
Yes.
And
yeah, you have to track your water, you guys.
If you
not,
don't know what you're putting in the tank, you got no idea how far you can drive.
If you don't know, right? You don't know.
That's right.
Okay.
And so everything's going great. Everything's going awesome. The app usage is higher. People are being more consistent. Everyone's drinking more water, taking more salt. Stuff's going good. But the leaderboard thing, I forgot to do it. And so we're literally live on class. It's the last day of the challenge. We're supposed to update everybody on where everyone's at after we go over our wins and our plans and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, people got competitive. They were like, I'm going to kick what's-his-face's butt. Like,
we got some rivalry.
I know.
Started.
I was like, oh, wow,
and,
okay.
And at the end of class, we're supposed to announce, okay, who came in first, who came in second, who came in third, who drank the most, who drank the least, all this kind of stuff. And I didn't do it. And so, like, we're on the Zoom. I had to private message Drew on the Zoom. I'm like, dude, SOS, full stop. You got to go in here, check on this, put the leaderboard together, send it to me in a private message so it looks like we were prepared. And then, thankfully, he's a hero. And so he did all the work while the call was going on. Nobody even noticed. He's still on camera. He's talking. He's laughing. He's making my jokes funnier.
Yeah, just a smooth operator like
good.
that.
And then he gets all the data. And then at the end of the class, thankfully, we saved it and we had a great time. And nobody knows this except for you guys watching right now and anybody who watched the episode later, because we didn't tell anybody. Because thankfully we fixed it. It ran all smooth. But we just thought that was like a little bit hilarious that our first challenge ever, and I'm having to last second just rush to get things done, get things prepared. Because I didn't plan ahead, and sometimes we don't follow our own advice when it comes to planning, and that's something we're working on. But we ended at the end of the day, we saved it. So that's the most important thing. The challenge went well. Everybody drank more water.
The thing is like when you think about what could have gone better this week, right? The biggest thing is that you learn from that experience. Because if you don't learn from that experience, then it is a failure. Then you were wrong. Then you did really mess up.
Yep.
Or, again, you can look at it from a actually uplifting and in an encouraging and progressive way where you focus on the accountability of it and you do learn from it. Because if you don't learn from something, then it was just a mistake and it stays there. It doesn't turn into a lesson.
And so naturally, because we had a planning error, we made the planning a big focus on all the classes that week as a reminder for everybody not to be like us. They didn't know why I was being so hard and drilled. Like, guys, listen, if you don't plan ahead, you're going to make mistakes. Things are going to go wrong. We got to do this and then do this and then do this. And they're just thinking like, yeah, he really wants us to plan. This is awesome. This is so great. Little do they know, covering my own keister.
Anyways.
You know what I'm saying? So that was a lot of fun.
If you don't
that was
plan,
a lot of fun.
if you don't plan, you plan to fail. But planning, it is a dynamic experience. We have to continually adapt.
That's right.
To every single circumstance. But the point is that you don't give up. When it comes to like thinking about your week, doing an audit of your week, what could have gone better? You have to look at it as, what can I learn from this? Because otherwise you're only going to be left feeling discouraged.
That's right.
You're only going to be saying, gosh, I could have done that better. I should have done this. Oh gosh. And then again, it's going to go back into discouraging you. It's going to affect your identity. We want to uplift our identity. We want to be enlightened. We want to be encouraged. We want to have our minds focused on what is beautiful, what is excellent, what is lovely, what is uplifting. If we are not doing that, we are working against ourselves, and that's not healthy. And that's not just, it's not just for your mental health, it's for your physical health too. You have to be continually promoting and uplifting and saying good things because your body is paying attention to the words that you speak. Your brain is registering the words that you're speaking, and it affects your entire body. Absolutely. We have literally seen people go from having, very low energy, as an example, to almost like a night and day difference just in using better words, and especially making sure that they're not speaking against themselves. They're speaking for themselves. They're speaking for their future. They're speaking out the things that they want to happen for their health and for their future, for their relationships, for their discipline, etc., etc.
Totally. So yeah, that was our little, this could have gone better this week.
Yes.
But thankfully, we thought on our feet and we found a way to make it work, and it was great. It was good. And it was actually ended up being a lot of fun.
Okay.
Because we got to keep these guys on their toes. I can't let the team just get too comfortable and thinking that they can just, everything's going smooth and everything's going great. No, sometimes I got to throw a little inaudible. So maybe I meant to forget. You don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, that's like some stellar planning, babe.
Everyone's playing checkers.
All right.
And I'm playing baccarat.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
I don't
okay.
even
So
know
the
how to
next,
play baccarat.
no,
But that's
but
not
like
the point.
it's okay. That's not what matters.
No, it's not.
The point is that you would win if you played it.
We'll go with that.
Because you're that good.
We'll go with that.
Good. Okay.
That's
Now,
right.
next question for you, my love. What is your proudest moment?
Ooh,
yes. Talk about let's go over some of the wins.
Yep. So I got
happened.
three. I got three.
I also have three.
2 guys, 1 lady. Very proud of. First of all, I'm gonna pick on Kenneth a little bit. Long story short, dealing with a cigarette addiction, and things are going very, very, very well. I'm super proud of this guy. He has been putting in the work. He's been trying to quit for like the last 8 years, been smoking for longer than that. But basically, long story short, we got down from about 3 packs a week, give or take, roughly, on average, to now we've had 1 cigarette in the last 3.5, maybe 4 weeks, something like that. So this dude is putting in the work, and it's really, really, it's just a really cool and happy and proud moment when we get to see the fruits of our labor. We get to see the stuff that we're doing with all of you guys, with everybody that we're working with, like just seeing it working, and getting to have these talks. The dude's like, he's having a smile on his face. He's feeling better about himself. He's beating an addiction that's had power over him since he was a teenager. And obviously, because of all that, the energy's starting to go up, mental clarity's starting to go up, breathing's starting to get a heck of a lot better, and just really, really cool. This guy's been fighting against that for a while, and he's finally got the right plan and a good support system around him so that he's able to do it. And I mean, just going from like 3 packs to 1 cigarette, that's really huge. That's big. So that's my first one.
Okay.
What's your first one, honey?
My first one, I'm going to talk about our friend and client, Miss Isabel. Well, all of our clients we pretty much end up becoming friends anyways. But so she has had her hair getting darker. So she is again is very she's had a few this week, eh? Mm-hmm. But anyways, she is very young. Okay, she's a lady in her 30s, which is not old. You are not old if you're in your 30s or 40s, okay, guys? Anyways, she's in her 30s.
Just a baby.
And she was dealing with some white hair, okay? And then since she has been drinking the water we recommend, since she's been eating the way we recommend and detoxing naturally the way that we recommend, she's literally seen the hairs on her head that were white turn dark. Mm-hmm. The same literal hairs. So like we're talking like the end
the same literal hairs.
Like pieces of hair. The end of it was white of her hair, and then the root of it is dark, and it's growing more and more dark because hair goes through cycles. And so you can see your hair actually improve as it goes through its cycle, just as how a woman goes through like a monthly cycle. Hair goes through a cycle as well. And it's relatively around the same time as well, like or so, like around a few weeks, this kind of idea. Depends on the person and different things like this. But you can really, just as how a woman can improve her cycle a lot. So for example, having less pain on her period, making sure she's ovulating efficiently, having a good flow, the timing is lined up, every single month, et cetera, you can do a similar thing for all of the different cycles and systems in your body. That includes with your hair cycle as well. And so we've seen that improve, and
the body runs on rhythms.
Exactly.
Everything's in cycles and rhythms. It's like a symphony.
Exactly. It's like seasons, right? The earth goes through seasons. Our body is literally made from the earth, right? We're not our bodies, but our bodies are literally made from the earth, and they are beautiful and they're amazing. And awesome. The same elements that you can find in the earth, you can find in your body as well, like carbon and iron and a bunch of different elements, right? And so when we have those working more in alignment, and when the body is more supported, just as how a person succeeds when they have the support they need, as we were speaking earlier about these people giving much effort, but once they had true support for long enough, they were able to see like many great results. The same thing happens with the body. Your body is your friend, like in a sense of where it's always trying to preserve you and protect you and to keep you alive. And so it's always doing its best, but if it doesn't have what it needs to succeed, it's going to be very, very difficult, as is the same with each of us, right? As individuals, as like our souls and spirits and stuff, it's going to be very difficult to truly succeed if you don't have that support.
And if you don't have a good plan, and if you don't know how to follow the plan, 'cause that's a different thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my first win.
Very good. Second one, I'm going to call out Vincent. For any of you guys that don't know, for the record, Vincent's got a fight coming up tomorrow.
Yes, and we're so excited. We're going to go see it and support him and cheer him on and everything.
This is his first fight with pro regulation rules, and he's going to freaking kick some butt. It's going to be fantastic. I like it a lot. It's going to be good. Last fight, just to show off a little bit more, his last fight, he didn't even get really that tired. Like he had, I think it was 3 full rounds. Fight was over. He won, by the way. So shout out, Vincent. You're an animal. Came around, looking around the room. We locked eyes with each other. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. So we celebrated a little bit from the distance. He got out, went to go talk to the medical lady, take off his wraps, talk to his mom, hug his girlfriend. Then I came over. He saw me. It's like first thing he said, dude, literally not even tired. Like I could do that over again. And that was hilarious because that was the biggest thing we were working on beforehand, because that was the thing that almost cost him the fight before. Thankfully, he won that one too, but it was like it was a little bit too close. But this one, we were just we had a training last Saturday, and we're driving back from the gym, and we're just talking and going over the game plan, going over nutrition, going over diet, going over just his recovery, some things that he's got to do to help prep with his back and his hips and everything else. And he just realized while we were talking, like, dude, I haven't been sick since we started working together. And that's huge because normally he would get sick pretty much like at least once every training camp. And
not even sick except for like a slight like sore throat or something like that, right?
But like not
something very minimal.
Exactly. But like not sick enough to stop training. Yeah. Which was I think he said it was his first time where that's happened, where he hasn't had to adjust his schedule to accommodate his immune system acting all wacky. So like, that was just a huge celebration for us, and it just goes to show how much work Vincent's been putting in, and he's been following the diet. He's been drinking his water. He's been taking his stuff. He's been breathing better. He's sleeping better, all these kinds of things, and he's been following the plan. He's been living his longevity lifestyle, and it's showing because his strength's up, all of his lifts are up, flexibility's up, pain's down, cardio's up, and he's got a fight coming up tomorrow, so it's going to be the ultimate proof of just like, if two people are at the same level of skill in sports or fighting or business or anything really, same skill, the healthier person is going to win 9 times out of 10. You know, everything can happen. You know, anybody can get clipped, anybody can do anything. And if you know fighting, you know that it's a game of just millimeters and nanoseconds and just pure technique. But he's been putting in the work, and it's been showing because the dude hasn't been sick once in like a year and a half almost. Something like that. Super cool. So
Very
Vincent,
fun.
Proud of you, buddy. Shout out. You're doing fantastic. You're going to demolish this guy in the other fight. I'm not a fan of anybody getting beat up. I don't want anyone to get hurt. But I know how hard you can hit. And so I feel bad for this guy already. And he hasn't even stepped in the ring yet. So it's going to be good.
Absolutely. Our next proudest moment would be for Brandy. She has been trying to gain some weight recently, and that's just for like health reasons. You know, something's very important, right? Because it's like you want to be in, you know, have the right ratio for your body. You want to have the right physique, right? And, you know, it's very important for confidence altogether, regardless if you are someone who would want to, because there's personal preference and then there's what your body actually needs and wants, and that would be for the health of your organs and, you know, your longevity and everything like this. Like nutrition is very, very important for your body. And so she has been able to gain an extra 10 pounds, which is wonderful. We're very, very happy for that.
And that's funny because most people don't want to hear that. But if you're at the point where you're underweight, most people are overweight, so those stories aren't as common. But being underweight, that's got a lot of issues on itself.
Absolutely.
So just getting back, putting muscle on again, more bone density, stronger connective tissue, big thing. You got to have enough healthy tissue on your body for your immune system, for your nervous system, to sleep well, for your hormones to be in a decent place. You know, body composition is super important, both ways. You don't want to be too big or too small.
Yep. Yeah, you want to be just right, just
That's
like Goldilocks, right?
And
Absolutely.
Brandy's getting to be just right.
I think she's just right already. But, again, like your health is very, very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there has been such a poor glorification of being a certain size or looking a certain way. But your body, first and foremost, has to be healthy before any other physical change needs to take place. And that is something that is very important. And it's also very important to understand that you are not your body, and your worth is not in how small or how big you are. Your worth is not in how much muscle or how much less muscle you have. Your worth is you as an individual, you as a human being. And, that worth is innate. It's something you're born with. That's something very, very, very important to understand.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, so that would be my win. You kind of jumped in on that.
Yeah, all right. Last one, just to shout out another person. No name this time, but when you're watching, you know who you are. We got a great report this week of one of our ladies. She has been dealing with some discouragement due to plans not totally going according to the way they were planned. And I wanted to share this one because there's some really good lessons in here. And one of the ways that she's getting help with this is by doing what we call breaking out of the perfectionist prison. A lot of the time, people are like, well, it's got to be perfect, otherwise I won't do it. Or I'm not going to finish it yet because it's not perfect yet. Or I'm not going to do this because I can't do it as good as I want to. Or I don't think I can do it perfectly, so I'm not going to start doing it at all. But all those different things are just different colors of this perfectionist prison, just different shades of perfectionism. And 99% of the time, I don't actually have stats on it, but let's just say for argument's sake, 98.97 times percent out of the time, it's going to be a detriment. It's going to hurt you, not help you. It's not going to help get anything done. It's not going to help you be consistent. It's not going to help you keep your encouragement high. It's not going to help keep you motivated. Actually, all that it's going to do is it's just going to lock you into this literal prison where you don't move and you don't go and you get into analysis paralysis and you can't do this and you can't do that and then this won't happen until that's done better, and you put all these things on the back burner until either the problems pile up so big you can't avoid them, or the dreams take so long to do that you lose hope that you can never do them and you don't even try anymore. And just so anytime we see a person that's really starting to realize, hey, if things don't go according to plan, if I make a mistake, if I have a bad day, if I have a bad week, I'm still alive. I'm still going to live these next 24 hours anyway. I'm still going to experience these next 7 days anyway. So what the flip is the point in me getting down in the dumps, not putting my best foot forward, not getting up after I fall down, not brushing the dirt off my shoulders, not washing my face, not looking at the world with expectancy of anything good, and take another step and try again and try again and try again, because I'm going to be here anyway. I'm going to live this day anyway. I'm going to live tomorrow anyway. So what good reason can I come up with to not try to make it the best day that I can? And if you ask yourself that question, you'll almost always find that there isn't a good reason, right? And then another little thing that we got going on around here is just, if you get it done good, that is infinitely better than perfect never done.
Yeah.
Right? If you get it done 80, 85%, as good as you possibly could do, that's what? 850% better, or 850 times better than 1% because you never actually did anything. That's some pretty good math.
Or heck, you know what? Even if that's 50%, it's better than zero.
That's right.
And that's a wonderful thing, is how it's hey, at least I did something. At least I'm doing something. At least I'm progressing, and that's really what matters. And we have a lot more wins, but we, just for the sake of time, we're going to go into the lesson that we wanted to go over today.
Yes.
And this is something that Justyn and I feel very passionate about because, as I was saying earlier when we were going over the subject of the episode today, guilt versus accountability.
That's right.
And so right away, people can hear that title and it's like, yeah, of course I understand that. But context and teaching over telling is something that we really, really like to, pride ourselves on, so to speak, because we think we understand the basics until we actually go and try to learn and look at and see the full bigger picture on the basics. Accountability and guilt is something that is not flagged enough for a lot of people. It's not taught. It's not, broken down well enough in a lot of ways. And when you do actually look at it to try to have a bigger sliver of understanding, then you'll see and you can relate it to your life about how so many ways you've been dealing likely with more guilt than accountability. And it has been robbing from you. And we don't want you guys to have anything robbed from you. We don't want any joy robbed from you. We don't want any peace robbed from you. We don't want any progress robbed from you. We want you to succeed in every area of life.
That's right. And so we're going to try something new. We haven't done this before on the podcast, but we're going to take a few minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, nothing crazy. Like and we're going to give you guys a little glimpse into what it's like on the inside of the academy. We're going to pull up the surface. We're going to draw out a lesson together, and we're going to go over something that we covered on one of our group classes this week. Same thing that we taught to all the clients, we want to teach to you guys here. It's not everything, of course. It's just one of the parts of it. But we wanted to see if doing some kind of live teaching on the podcast, if that's something that you guys like, because we thought it'd be kind of fun. I mean, we like doing it every day for our work, and so we figured we'd do it one more day for the podcast and just see if it works. So if you're watching up to this point, first of all, thank you. And second of all, comment bananas if you like this little section that we're coming up now. That'll just be like our little
B-A-N-A-N-A-N.
That's right, a little bananas. Inside joke. Everyone's gonna be like, why the heck are they commenting bananas? What's going on? But if you're up to this point, and if you like what we're about to do here with pulling up the screen and drawing out some stuff and having a little mini teaching session, little virtual class with you guys, comment bananas.
Yep, or do the banana emoji. All right,
or the banana emoji, and then we'll know that you're watching, and we'll know that you like it, and we'll keep doing it. And if we don't see any bananas, then I don't know.
Okay, all right, just jump into it. Okay.
So first of all, if I pull up the screen here, hopefully you guys can see that. We're gonna go over a little visual diagram. So first things first, I'm just gonna draw a line right down the middle, and on one side we're going to call this, if I can get the thing to work, we're gonna call this the guilt side, and on the other side we're going to call this, if I can switch the pen, there we go. We're going to call this the accountability side. And we're just going to compare the two a little bit, because a lot of the time these things get interchanged with people, and a lot of the time they confuse ability. Thank you. Good enough. A lot of the time these things get confused, and people associate accountability and guilt in the same way, or they're actually feeling guilty and they think they're feeling accountable because they don't want to admit they're feeling guilty. And so we're just going to kind of draw this out a little bit and get to some nitty gritty on what's actually going on. Because at the end of the day, one of the things that we always look at is you judge stuff by the results, and you judge people not by their words, not by their thoughts, not by their beliefs, but by their behavior. That's like really the only way to kind of tell what's true. So if somebody tells you really, really, really badly that they want to do something, but then everything else in their life, all the choices they're making is something that a person would do if they didn't want that thing. Yeah,
so repeated behavior, right?
Exactly.
And a lot of times it's not personal, okay? It's just, it goes back to programming, like what you were taught. There's nurture, then there's nature.
That's right.
And so if you were nurtured into focusing more on guilt over accountability, that is going to be something that you may have as a challenge. But, we like to think of challenges as stepping stones to a greater life. So let's focus more on this.
If you face them.
If you face them, if you step on them and progress.
What are the differences? How do we tell if somebody's feeling guilty, if somebody's feeling accountable? Well, first of all, when you have guilt, usually that leads to shame.
Yeah.
It's one of the big things that comes up with guilt all the time. You feel guilty, and so you feel shamed.
Like you genuinely feel bad.
That's
like
right.
Bad about yourself.
And usually that shame leads to sadness because it's unresolved, and shame, it's a very, very destructive feeling.
Yeah.
And destructive meaning that like it eats away your joy, eats away your happiness, eats away your identity. And so you just end up feeling sad a lot of the time. And then if that's left untreated, that sadness will turn into some depression.
Can turn into some depression. And again, all of this is connected to your physical health, you guys. This is something so important that so many people can like just skip past.
Yep.
That we have to understand, we have to get right if we want a long, healthy life.
Totally. And the difference between accountability is that, yes, you will feel some regret because you're remorseful for what you've done. You know, you're remorseful. And so, because you understand that it was wrong, right? Whatever happened, whatever mistake was made, however you let yourself down, let somebody else down, like there's remorse there. But at the same time, there's also responsibility.
Yes.
Is that how you spell responsibility? It is. Okay, perfect. Responsibility. Come on, draw a little faster, Justyn. The responsibility. And the responsibilities, and this is a key part if you guys are watching. Let me just quickly go big screen here. If you don't know what responsibility means, if you want a little nugget, if you want this whole price of admission, even though this episode's been free, responsibility is your ability to respond. If you just break down the word and reverse it, that's what it means. So if you take responsibility, it's not a sign of shame or that you did something terrible or that you're not admitting you're a bad person or a failure. You're just accepting the fact that you have the ability to respond to whatever's going on, good or bad. It's where your power is to deal with these kinds of problems. Okay? So if we go back, those are some big differences. Shame, sadness, depression, regret, remorse, responsibility. And what do those things lead? So when you have shame and you have sadness and you get depressed, the biggest reason why guilt is an issue is because it leads to repeat behavior. That's not how you spell repeat, but you guys get the idea. I'm aware that I misspelled that, so it doesn't count.
It's okay.
Repeat behavior. Right? It's also not how you spell behavior, but I maybe that is how you spell behavior. I'm not sure. We're going to figure this out. But the reason why guilt is so terrible is because it leads to repeat behavior. Because what happens is when you feel shame, when you get sad, when you get depressed, you start having all these thoughts of you being that person that did that thing. That's who you are. You got too loud and you yelled at the kids. You got too forgetful and let the wife down. You got so selfish and lazy that you didn't stick to the diet. Whatever those things are. And what does that lead you to do? If you feel guilty and shameful about not following a diet, you're probably going to go back to eating food to comfort those feelings.
Yes. It's a cycle.
That's right. It creates this cycle. And the cycle is really, really, really hard to get out of. And so what happens is it creates these two different things here. And both of them are really bad. First of all, it gets you, because you're doing this repeat behavior, it's getting you, I'm just going to draw a little eye here. Hopefully honestly, honey, you should be doing the drawing part because you're way better. That's a creepy eye. But anyways, it gets you to see yourself.
I'll do the eye on this side, on the accountability side.
It gets you to see yourself doing these things over and over and over again, and it reinforces that behavior. And then what that does is it creates this never-ending flywheel cycle of things just getting worse. Because now you have 2 instances, 3 instances, 15 instances of you breaking the diet, going back on your word, and becoming that person again, quote unquote.
You're affirming that identity
Exactly.
that is all rooted with this guilt.
That's right.
And so guilt doesn't make, what we've seen is guilt. It may feel like it's something that will make someone change, but that's not essentially the answer.
That's
Again, with accountability, you're going to feel regret. You're going to feel disappointment, right? And maybe there can be a little bit of guilt in that. But the point being is like guilt being like the whole experience versus guilt just being left as like a part of maybe the feeling and the complexity of it.
That's right.
But it's really how you respond, right? That one is reacting. The other one is responding.
For sure. And because we have kept our responsibility, we have taken responsibility for what we've done. We've been accountable.
Yes.
I made a mistake. I need to fix this.
This is what I'm going to do. This is how I can be better. This is how I can set myself up for success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so what this does is it helps you to change your behavior. Because eventually what happens is you don't like feeling remorseful. And if you take accountability 10 times, you probably don't want to have to admit you were wrong for the 11th time. And so what it does is it forces you to change your behavior.
Yes.
You don't make the same mistakes over again because you're sick and tired of admitting that you sucked in that area.
And there's a longevity to it. And that is, again, it has to do with the fruit. Okay.
That's right.
So that's how you know if you're dealing a lot more with guilt, or if you're dealing a lot more with or if you are succeeding with accountability, is based on the results.
That's right. And so just for the sake of time, I'll just draw the eye again. Hopefully I do a little bit of a better job. And this time you see different stuff. It's not any better.
It's a slightly less. Okay.
But the point is that you see yourself do different things, better things. And so instead of you going into this repeat cycle of getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, because you're reaffirming this guilt identity, this guilt complex that we call it, what actually happens is you end up building a better identity. You end up rebuilding a better identity because you're now seeing yourself fix problems.
Yes.
You're seeing yourself learn from situations. You're seeing yourself overcome issues and not stay stuck in this endless loop of, I messed up, and so I do the thing that I messed up on, and then I feel bad for messing up, and then that feeling caused me to mess up again because I don't think I can do anything better because all I feel myself like is a failure and a messed up person with all these problems, and so I do this thing over again because that's how I believe about myself, and then I see myself do it more, and then that reinforces that belief that that's really who I am, and then just over and 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 over again, you go down the cycle, and this guilt complex just keeps you trapped, keeps you in prison.
So that built up evidence.
That's right. But with the accountability, it forces you to change. Because it's all because you're keeping your power, and so you have some encouragement. You know that you can do better because you're keeping the power to respond to whatever's going on. You're keeping your ability to respond.
You're keeping your posture.
You're seeing yourself improve and do different things, and so it actually builds a lot of mental strength and a lot of positive thoughts about yourself and a really good identity with who you are. Because like, hey, if I can beat that, I can beat the next thing. If I can beat this thing over here, I can overcome that. Doesn't matter if this problem comes up after me now because I just did this 50 times before and I won and I won and I won and I won and I won. And things are good and things are better because you're learning and you're not just reinforcing negativity. You're seeing yourself grow. And that's a great, great, great thing.
It is a great thing because, the evidence that you build with yourself and what you keep affirming with your actions, with your behavior is essentially what helps build your identity.
Totally.
Right? So if you want a better identity, if you want to feel better about yourself, then you need to create that evidence. And when you reinforce that positive evidence, then that is going to affect the way you think literally about yourself.
Totally.
So, it is possible. And again, it's back to this whole episode of what we've been talking about, right? It is about hope. It is about, knowing that things can get better. And if you're going to be alive, you may as well do your best to have the best, most successful, happiest, healthiest life possible.
That's right.
Because you are worth it.
Absolutely. So that was a little sneak preview. That was a preview and
it was a pretty small one. Yeah.
Into some of the stuff that we do and we talk about. Hopefully that was helpful. If you guys learned anything from that little visual, if that helped you kind of get some clarity on the guilt complex or the accountability mentality and just the differences between the two and why you might have felt stuck in this behavior that you don't like, stuck with these habits you don't want, and maybe some things that you need to change in how you think and how you speak and what you believe to get out of that cycle. Again, comment bananas. We'll be watching. Bananas and banana emojis, also gifts count as well, I think. Anything banana related we'll look at as a win.
It's going to be a very interesting comment section.
And if you guys liked it, let us know. If you want us to do more of that stuff, let us know. I mean, we have like infinite different lessons and things we can draw out and things like that we can talk. But this has been the ReVitalized Podcast.
Yes.
We thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for your time. Like it if you liked it. Share it if you think somebody else needs to hear it.
And comment any questions, especially even about our wins.
Even non-banana related ones. We will answer them.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you guys.
Have a great day, guys.
So much.
Thank you all for watching. You guys are the best. We appreciate it. We'll see you in the next episode. Live a healthy life because you can absolutely do it.
Live life to the fullest.
Live life to the fullest. That's right. God bless, guys. See you next time. Bye.